Okay, so it's you, Patty.
Okay, my movie is Fantastic Beasts: The Secret of Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Whatever his name is. Anyway. So the premise of the movie is...
Hold on.
Let's catch a trailer.
The trailer.
And
if you listen carefully enough, the past whispers to you.
We're here to see Albus Dumbledore.
That would be my brother.
The world as we know it is coming undone. Grindelwald is pulling it apart with hate. If we're to defeat him, you'll have to trust me.
This is the team that's going to take down the most dangerous wizard in over a century. A Magizoologist, his indispensable assistant. A wizard descended from a very old family, a school teacher, and a muggle.
Dumbledore asked that I give you something, Jacob.
Are you kidding me right now?
Who wouldn't like our chances?
Off to save the world, are we?
Things are not quite what they appear.
Swivel, but delicately.
I'm swiveling, you're swiveling.
Our war with the Muggles begins today!
What is this place?
The room we require.
Correct. 3 points to Hufflepuff.
we were just discussing that. Hufflepuff, Slytherin, something else.
Gryffindor.
Okay, so the premise of the movie is Dumbledore knows the powerful dark wizard Grindelwald. What is his name? Grindelwald?
Oh, yeah, Grindelwald.
Is trying to seize control of the wizard world. Unable to stop him alone, he entrusts Newt Scamander to lead a team of wizards and witches, and they start clashing with Grindelwald, whose growing legion is getting bigger as time goes. Now, for the first hour of the movie, I had no idea who Mad Mikkelsen was, who replaced Johnny Depp, because when you have 3 series in a row, you want the same people.
Yes,
And
I agree.
You know what I
Definitely
mean?
agree,
And
yes.
I had no idea who this guy was. And for the first hour, it was all like very turbulent and non-connective. It didn't make sense to me, this whole movie.
I think Johnny Depp was preoccupied at that time.
Yeah.
Well, get out of the goddamn
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, it was because of something else because he had something else was going on in France with him. But you can't change the characters of the main people, and that's what they were
I
doing.
agree.
Well,
So-
I don't know. They changed Dumbledore, remember? 'Cause
I didn't
Richard
like him
Harris
either.
was right. Oh.
I agree.
Jude Law, to me, never played Dumbledore well. You know what I
They
mean?
got the guy from the other
The other old
that
guy.
they are talking.
I want the old guy, right? So what made the first movie and the second movie really good is because the main 4 characters, which was Queenie, the Muggle, what's his name, Jacob? Jacob, and
The 2 sisters.
the 2 sisters,
Right.
Tina and Queenie. What,
Right.
who am I missing?
No, that's it.
Newt. It was a centralized theme of them trying to find the lost Fantastic Beasts. So no matter what else, whoever else came in on it were sideliners. But that was the central theme, and that's what made the movie. This is, and I'd never heard such a great expression for it was too many movies in one movie. One being a political drama about the rise of fascism, which I didn't even catch on to. A look at magical beasts, which you rarely saw, a tie kind of to Harry Potter, and a brief romance. Who cares, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to read you what I wrote because I had it so thought out, right? Matt Mikkelsen plays Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. Eddie what's his name? Redmayne?
Redmayne.
Redmayne plays Newt. Jude Law, Dumbledore. Dan Folger plays Jacob, who I love in all the movies. Alison Sudol plays Queenie, and Ezra Miller plays Cadence. Catherine Watson, who plays Tina, isn't even in the movie till the friggin' end.
Spoilers.
Spoiler. And it just kills it. I don't know why, but splitting everybody up just killed it. And for the first hour, it was just disjointed and stupid. So, as I said, the foursome is what kept the first and second one going. There's no idea of what all these people are. Like, who cares who the old family guy is? You know what I mean? Who cares who the secretary is? These are all sideline people, and they made them the major people. I didn't like that at all. The second hour, it started kicking in, but without the four main characters sticking together and working together, I thought it sucked. And I really, really loved the first two.
I think
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of people agreed with you. Yes,
What?
George,
My
you-
next?
you are.
Yes. Well, yeah, I actually I like the movie, but I didn't like it as much as the previous
No, right.
the ones. I actually did not have a problem with the story because it makes sense to me what they're trying to do. What this guy has, he's trying to, first of all, it's almost actually very political, like real
Yeah, who the
politics.
hell wants to watch
Where
that?
he wants to do a thing where he's trying to finagle the politics and
Right.
get this. Apparently, there's this fantastic beast. This little
Right.
looks like a little deer
Right.
who they're having elections, and the one way is that this deer
Isn't it
knows
called a Gwilyn or
killing the
Chillin'.
chilling
The
what?
chilling con carne. So, but it kind of decides who's the purest by bowing in front. The little
Well, because
character.
it can see into a person's soul,
So, yes.
so they
Right.
will know the character immediately.
Right,
They,
and-
they can see that.
So they apparently,
So cute.
so it will bow in front of the
The
purest
chosen
person,
one.
and then that's how
Yeah.
they choose. It picks who's the next in line to lead the I guess all the magical or those guys.
Right.
So and obviously Grindelwald is trying to work the shenanigans there with the chilling too.
Because he's a wanted fugitive.
He's a wanted
I mean, you
fugitive.
see wanted
Yeah,
posters
and
all
he's-
the
and
Out
time.
of curiosity, when did you guys realize that was Grindelwald?
Oh, right from the beginning, because they mentioned that that was Grindelwald. The thing is that, speaking of, but you know what? No, but yeah, right. Excuse me. No, but see, I never liked Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. I never liked
don't like Johnny Depp at all.
because I kept thinking it's Johnny Depp. It's Johnny Depp. When Mads Mikkelsen came up, we go. Actually, to me, he was a better Grindelwald
He
because
was.
because he should have been the one in all the movies. And I was
But he
going.
should have been at the
And I go,
beginning.
when is he gonna get the Riders of Justice to come and help him along too?
It's when they change it. It's like,
Yes,
who the
I
hell
agree.
is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. But
Yeah.
because I barely remember that. I don't know how long ago the last movie was made
Right?
that I could barely remember it. I mean, I could barely remember. So when he came along, it took me a minute to realize that I knew he was Grindelwald, but I didn't realize that Johnny Depp played Grindelwald too back then
Oh.
too. It's
How
like,
funny.
and then I was like, oh yeah, wait a minute, he's playing Johnny Depp's character. But I feel like because
Took me an hour and a half, George.
But it was like because I just did not like Johnny Depp in those roles. That's the thing I didn't like
He
about those
wasn't
movies.
great in the role, but at least he was consistent. You know
But
what I mean?
so that character Jacob Kowalski, he's the
I
one
love
that
him.
he makes these movies for me.
He makes the movie.
And all the movies I've seen, he's so funny. He's got all
Yeah.
the
Well, I
lines.
think he's the one people will relate to because he's the
us.
human.
He's the
He's
muggle.
the
exactly.
He's the muggle. He's us.
So he's the one we can relate to
He's
in
us,
this sort
yeah.
of fantasy world. You know.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of,
and he's so in love with Queenie.
and he's just a good guy.
yeah,
yes.
he's just a good
well,
guy.
that's why
Yeah.
he's actually picked in this movie. You see the kind of character and
Yeah.
why he's convinced to go on to this adventure.
And
Yeah.
also, and actually, because it is a fantastic beast movie, it's really
Where were there
Eddie
any
Redmayne.
beasts?
It should be. It's a really Eddie Redmayne movie.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't seem like it a lot.
Right.
Well, it's
Because-
not. I
Is
don't
that
think.
because it doesn't seem like it at all. Like you would think he's the one who followed him because Fantastic Beasts.
It's like they threw him in there.
But initially I used to have initially I had a hard time with Jude Law being Dumbledore because
Me too.
because he was so famous then. But now I'm really used to him being Dumbledore. Like I go, he's a great Dumbledore actually.
I actually
I like
thought he
the
was a
character.
good young version of
Yeah.
him. I do agree with
Yeah,
that.
I like him now. I like him as a character. He reminds me of the what's it, the Scottish guy, the used to be Prime Minister of Scotland or whatever it was.
Oh, you mean George Galloway?
He's reminds me of George
He's
Galloway. I don't know
he's
if you guys
the
know who George
Prime
Galloway is.
Minister.
The Prime Minister of guys. He looks like him. He even has he wears the same hat. Galloway wears the hat too. He probably saw Dumbledore and said,
He
"That's
was an
me."
MP,
I
I
An
think.
find
MP.
Jude Law hard to believe at that point. Either they should have made him older, somebody older, or somebody
But-
incredibly younger.
But he's still a younger Dumbledore. So
I
to
don't
me,
know.
to me,
I don't believe him.
he kind of grew on me. So I'm used to him now. And,
Right,
and if they
right,
keep
right.
making Dumbledore movies, obviously he's gonna get
Yeah.
grayer and
Right.
grayer.
Right.
The
Yeah, that's like 80 years difference. So.
yeah.
I
So
know, but it's a
yeah,
good age.
I mean, I found it entertaining. I mean, it wasn't one of my favorite ones, and I love the whole magic thing, the whole Harry Potter thing, and everything. But I was still was entertained by it.
And the humor's not there. The humor was in the first, even the second one, but more so in the first one, where it concentrated. It was a simple
Well, it was
story.
more of a whole political kind of thing, kind of movie, as opposed to
But this one,
as
Yeah.
opposed to Fantastic Beasts or a lot of magic. It was more like you could almost not have the magic because it was very political. The whole point of
whole
it, to me.
series, but the concentration was on. Like they didn't have Tina until the very.
And also there was
What
a
do you call it?
character
Breaker?
there was a character Yusuf Kama, who they introduced him making me say ancient the guys out of New Orleans or French
Yeah,
family
who
and
cares
everything.
that? I
But
mean,
I
Well,
felt
that he was he
Well,
killed
the
his
second
sister.
one.
Yes, he killed his
because
sister.
he was sort of enchanted
Yeah,
in
enchanted,
the
yeah.
second movie.
but
so
in this movie he's
you
had
don't know,
a kind of like a purpose, but I felt that
not
they-
really explained.
no,
not really
Yeah.
explained exactly. They could have
and
gone
not
further.
important.
They could have gone further with that. To me, that
Yes.
was an unnecessary part of it because
Right.
they didn't go any further with it. They
And the
just kind of
secretary. When the hell did you get a
basically,
secretary?
basically with him they just phoned him in. That
Yeah.
character just phoned it in. But yeah, anyways, yeah. But I still enjoyed it.
Well, no, it's okay because I do okay. I like the series, but I'm confused about who is the target audience. Is it for young adults? Kind of what you were
Which the
saying in first
original,
one?
which the original
For or is it
novels
for
and movies should be. right?
adults? Is
Right.
it for children? This movie was definitely not for children.
No,
No.
it's for the people who were at that age with children and they've all
Grew
grown up,
up.
and we're
Grew up.
following them and now they're in their
Possibly,
30s, 40s,
possibly.
and they're still watching it.
Never
But
thought
they
about
lost
that. I
their
never
sense
thought
of
of that either.
humor. They lost their sense of humor as they grew up.
The second
And
one.
I
The second
totally
one, they
agree
lost
with
the
that.
sense of humor. Yeah.
Because even the Harry Potter movies is very light.
Generation Z, is that
You
what
know,
it be? That's for them.
Even if it's
Is
dark.
that Z?
Generation Z, right?
Well,
Yeah.
no, the
Jesse, what generation is she?
millennials.
Millennials. So this movie is millennials. The whole Harry Potter.
Oh, millennials.
the whole
yes.
Harry
Well,
Potter.
they have no sense of humor anyway.
From start to finish, it's Harry Potter is millennials.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is a millennial. He just came out.
Yeah, but it's kind of like when okay, you have fairy tales, they're always relative. Like there's always a 7-year-old. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
fine. This is
Right.
right.
So
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to grow up.
Mhm.
You know, the movie doesn't need to grow up because there's always that. What's beautiful about the Harry Potter series and this is there's no real time. Like there's nothing
Timeline,
to age it, or like there's not a cell phone or
Right.
a telephone,
Right,
Mhm.
right,
or
right.
a typewriter, or not a typewriter. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of like this is like a fairy tale. It's good for all ages. And there's always a 7-year-old. This-
Why didn't they call it? Why did they call it Fantastic Beasts?
Well,
There
I
were no. There weren't any.
Well, exactly, and it's kind of like
Well, the Fantastic Beast would have been the chilling.
I know.
It was
and,
something.
and to
And it's
me,
kind of the
they
ultimate
used
fantastic.
him.
I just feel like it was all too politically correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did have a lot of that, yeah.
And I
Good
have,
point, too.
And I have a problem with that.
Me too.
You know, when it's not necessary.
I'll cut this. It was very woke.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
Is that what that means? What did they say? Woke?
Yeah, woke. Yeah.
I hate it.
yeah, yes. So that didn't really work for me.
Me too.
And I
Mhm.
love the
Right.
Harry Potter
Yes.
series. I loved the first Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, fabulous.
Right? But after that, I really didn't. It's just kind of, and I don't know why. It's
It got dark, the second one.
I don't mind if I'm watching something for children. I know it's for children, and I can get into my own child space and I can watch it.
Right.
This was kind of like adult, but adults don't
But
have
bad.
fantastic beasts. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like, make up your mind what you are.
Yeah.
Are you a children's story or are you an adult story?
They even changed Candon's. Candon was an innocent boy who didn't know his own power.
Oh,
And-
Credence, you mean?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Credence.
Okay, yeah.
I like
Credence,
Credence, by
Candence.
the way. I thought
John
it was
Fogerty.
great.
Yeah. The Justice League. Yeah.
Yeah, Flash.
But you know what? Yeah, Flash. It's like he was an innocent when he started, and now he's like,
Almost a dark character.
But I thought when they introduced him in the movie, he was dark.
He was a dark character
When
He
it
was.
from the beginning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
but he didn't know it. It was like it was innocent with darkness because that came with him.
Mhm.
But it's like by this one, it's like you had no recognition. Of
Now here's
who
a
he
question
was.
I have: was Credence? You know how in the original Harry Potter movies or books too,
Yes.
there's sometimes they were solving, like they would read books of old stories.
Right,
Like
Yes.
right.
was Credence one of those that popped up?
I
I'm
don't
thinking
know.
they're thinking about some old story that they kept reading about. I wonder if it was Credence
He
or
was
maybe somebody
what do you
else.
call it, obscure?
Well, in the
Oh,
The Harry Potter
the Harry
ones.
Potter.
Yeah.
Not
It might be
really,
something
but
everybody else I'm
see,
thinking of.
that's what they brought up.
That
If
would
I'm not
make-
mistaken, that's what they brought up about their sister, because that was
Right,
like, in,
right.
at least
He was
it's
an
been a
obscure.
long, it's
I know,
been a
I have to
long
remember.
time since I
One
read
day I'm
the
gonna
books.
pull a marathon and watch them all.
He was
But
an
no,
obscure.
but I was watching. No, well, you read the books because when you read the books,
Uh.
there's the portrait that Dumbledore looks in this movie.
right.
You know, it's of
Yes,
the sister, right?
yes.
Now he does talk about, because in the book they talk about, or it's actually I think in the last novel of the Harry Potter books, where he meets Dumbledore meets Harry Potter after what's his name, the evil guy, I can't even remember. You know, he kills him.
Voldemort.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
Voldemort.
Voldemort sort of kills Harry Potter, and he goes to the train station.
Right.
That's when Dumbledore sort of tells him everything that happened. And one of the things was the sister gets killed. And he mentions that in this movie about the duels, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
he and Grindelwald supposedly were going to go off and, like he says, create a whole new world, wizarding world. And that's how he saw the future. Except Dumbledore didn't like the fact that, no, we just sort of get rid of the muggles, the humans, and we'll have the witching world take over.
Right.
Dumbledore sort of didn't agree with that. But what happens supposedly, at least that's what they seem to be hinting at it, that she is exactly like Credence.
Right.
She was, and like you said, obscurial.
Obscurial.
Right.
Yeah.
Where they kept talking about if she lost, because she supposedly somebody was teasing her. She lost control, and that caused the controversy of her being shut up. Now she supposedly, also in the novel, from my understand, she also killed their mother, which is why Albus, or no, the other one, the brother,
Right.
I can't remember his name now,
Right.
but
Yes.
So many
played by Andy
names.
Serkis. He was going to take care
That
of
was on the
sister.
circus, really?
That was Andy
I didn't
Serkis
even
playing the
recognize him.
brother. Yeah, yeah.
Don't you remember the circus
Wow.
where he meets the dragon girl?
No. Andy Serkis is the
Andy
name of the
Serkis.
actor.
He's that guy from.
sorry.
He's a famous guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, playing Gollum,
Gollum
most
and,
famously. Yeah.
Caesar,
Exactly.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
He's Caesar from Planet of the Apes. He's a
Right.
Black Panther.
He's
I
the
had no
one.
idea that was
See,
him.
it
Wow.
wasn't Fantastic Beasts. It wasn't Harry Potter. They should have just.
Oh, I'm
called it-
sorry. No, it's Richard Coyle is playing Al Aberforth Dumbledore. I'm sorry. It's not. I thought it was
Well,
actually
kinda
Andy
looks like
Serkis. Yeah. So anyway, that's why the obscurial part comes in,
Okay.
and the sister. But the thing was, for me personally, I agree with you that this should be the Fantastic Beasts series.
Right.
So that's what I want to see more of, because what I thought the charm of, and even in the first and the second movie,
Right.
is when they come across when he.
Newt-
Eddie Redmayne's Newt's character comes across a beast, he knows how to sort of tame it.
Right.
And that's
Right.
what makes it funny. Like even in the
Absolutely.
one where he pulls out a little
Right.
mask, a little toy, right? I thought, oh, okay, he knows what to do. So in this case, with the movie opens up with the Chillin. So you don't know what the purpose of the Chillin until it's explained later on, but it's like, okay, he's there to witness the birth.
Mhm.
Okay, I thought, and then all of a sudden it's like, where's the other Fantastic Beasts? And with the exception of what you see in the trailer, the little thing with those
The little twig,
scorpions
yeah.
or whatever you
Oh,
want to
right.
call
Oh,
them,
yeah,
right?
right. those
Except
things.
Dancing, right?
And the beaver.
Again, he does that. He knows how to sort of
Yes.
how to sort of handle beasts. That's what I would like to see more of in these type of movies.
It's a
So-
wrong title. It should have been
They
just.
should take away
It should have been just more like
The
a
Secrets
Harry.
of Dumbledore.
It
Right.
should have been called Harry Potter: The Secrets of Dumbledore, or something
No,
like that.
it should
Or
be
just
called
say
Harry
Dumbledore.
Potter.
Or just
Dumbledore,
Secrets of
yeah.
Secrets
Dumbledore.
of
It's not a whole
Dumbledore.
series with Dumbledore. Yeah.
Exactly.
They try to mix three of them to get
That's
an
a very
audience.
good point,
Yeah.
Patty.
Yeah.
That's
and
really
Right.
and
good.
it fucked up.
Because they still have the same team because it's J.K. Rowling's, like you said, writing it with Steve Kloves,
That's
right? Who did all
amazing,
that,
though.
and then David Yates also. But I think the darkness came from once you're right about the Harry Potter crowd,
Yeah.
because the last two movies was pretty dark, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what they sort of want to go with almost.
But then you're going to
Yeah.
adult world, and I don't.
But I
think,
think so,
I don't
yeah.
think adults are going to
Yeah.
be that
No.
interested.
Right.
Well, and I don't think kids will be this interested as far as the election and all that kind of stuff.
No.
In my
No.
opinion,
No.
because I agree with you that there's so little humor in it. In fact, that's why I think the Jacob character
Right.
is there
Well,
because
it's-
he's the only one who is sort of
But
humorous.
I think
Yeah.
it's like
You
you said. I think the kids who saw Harry Potter and they were a certain age,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're now at that age. They will just follow the movie, and they kind of for them too because they're now adults.
Well,
Well,
maybe
but that's
There's
the
always
thing.
a childlike
People like
thing.
me, I watch.
But I agree with Patty that it's aimed at a young adult audience. So
Yeah, exactly.
keep it.
even
at
though
young
it's supposed to be into one
Keep
young
it
adult
where it
audience.
should be.
Right.
you
Yeah.
don't need to know about politics.
Yeah, even though it's
You
same to a
don't
young
need-
adult
Who the hell
audience.
needs to know
It seems
about
like
a movie about politics?
yeah, even though
Mhm.
should be aimed at a young adult, it seems to be targeted to the Harry Potter fans who would have been kids then. It'd be like Top Gun now, Maverick.
Right.
For me,
exactly.
I was a teenager when
Right.
I came out and I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
But,
How
Yeah.
old were you when you saw Top Gun?
that was
14,
14,
12?
yeah, 14.
Yeah, 14. Yeah.
Christ!
So,
Should we rate it?
so
Well,
that
that-
movie is, yeah.
Well, that's the one thing because
Oh my
I will.
God.
I
He
will
still
say.
has to- he
I
has
will
to-
say
Yeah.
this though because of the whole story. I agree with you,
Oh.
Patty, that but I did know who he was at the beginning
I
only
didn't.
because of the meeting at the beginning of the two of them. You know, when he says, "Oh, I'm just going to have tea. I'm waiting for someone," and they have their conversation. That's when I realized, oh, they cast him, and then
Mhm.
then it dawned. That's I think I had to ask you guys, like, oh yeah, I don't like it because Johnny Depp was recast or something.
And he wasn't
So-
even that great in it, but he was
well, see,
consistent.
I didn't mind Johnny Depp. I
No,
thought he
I
was
didn't
fine
care.
in it, but
Yeah.
but see, also because of the Harry Potter books, you know that he and Dumbledore have the famous duel,
Mhm.
and there are other things actually
It's
involved too.
consistency.
But my thing is, I thought, okay, here's at least the beginnings of this and that. But you're right, that whole ending of the last one,
Right.
the previous one, and then the sort of political side of this one, it's like, okay, you really just, I'm not into it. Then the whole thing about the obscurial and being, certain things.
That should have been a
With
big
Credence.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I thought that was the whole purpose of seemingly the first two movies,
absolutely.
right?
And
So it's like,
Credence,
and then in this third movie,
it was nothing.
it's like that's sort of thrown out.
They phoned it in too, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, now I'm
Let's
sort of.
add this.
So now we have no beast. Now the whole Credence character is sort of pushed to the side.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're doing something else.
No Tina.
So
Yeah.
my problem, and that was my biggest thing. I thought, wait a minute, why isn't she in it? Because I agree with
she
you.
was a major
You
part.
liked the four of them, and you knew Credence was going to be a part of it, and Grindelwald. So you
Right.
know at least those six characters, and Dumbledore. So you
Right.
figure, okay, those seven characters, they should be all in this movie doing this story. And now it's like, wow, she was just like
Spread
sucked
out.
in.
You're right. They're setting
So
up something
now,
else.
There should be more involvement with the fantastic
beast, right?
That's
But
what
I
made
will,
the movie.
I will say this: I thought that Jessica Williams character playing that Professor
Oh,
Hicks
yeah.
character, I thought that was actually a nice addition. I
Really?
did like her. I had to admit, when she has to recruit Jacob, for example,
Right.
I like that scene where I
Yeah.
thought somebody
I
was
like- I
supposed to
like
It's like all
menacing.
the side
I like
actors
the character
became the
too.
main
Right,
actors.
right.
I like the character too.
But
That's
see,
the
the
one
thing was, no, I like the fact
She
that
was the
when
one that
I
takes
didn't know, for
very
example,
southern,
What?
oh, she
Yeah.
was the black professor
Yeah,
who
remember?
has to
Oh,
recruit
yeah, she
Jacob.
was
character.
good.
She was
But for
great.
example, no, she's at the bench, right?
Yeah.
So
She's good,
But
but
no,
this-
the guys
She's good,
come.
but
come
wait,
to
she
But
business.
that whole first sequence when she's up there, right?
Right.
Where she's telling her, "Oh, you have to be more menacing. Wave your arms." And I thought, what in the world's going on? I had no idea they were in on this thing.
Me
oh,
either.
You know, so I thought,
was
see,
lost
for an
that
hour
was
and a
that
half.
was a good setup.
that's too because I thought
right.
she was also just teasing the thug.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So then when they say it's like, oh yeah, that's my cousin. It's like only so they could recruit Jacob,
Right.
right? Because I do, like they point out, right?
Right.
That no, see, most people would look away or not do anything.
Mhm.
This is why we need you.
But they made all
And-
the side characters the main actors.
Yeah, and
Right.
also the
Mhm.
thing about the character of the professor,
Mhm.
I actually liked her because she was kind of light.
Mhm.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
no, exactly.
And
Yeah.
she actually was the lightest person in the thing. That she was kind of like a magical light person,
Yeah.
and
A
it was
side
like
person.
But
yeah.
still, but like I said, at least she was a very, like you said, Dumbledore said, "Oh no,
She knows the
very
dark
good in
arts,
the,
yeah.
the
The
defense,
defense
of
arts,
the
yeah.
dark
She
arts."
what?
That she was a good wit as far as a competent.
The
wit.
defense arts of
Yeah.
magic. And she's like,
Because when they had that
She had
whole
no importance.
because
in the movie.
another sequence that I
But
did
I
like
agree.
was the whole quote unquote whole dinner sequence or the tea or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
that was, right? Where he says, "Oh yeah, there's going to be assassination." So then again, they set up for something else, and it turns out to be something completely
It was
different.
boring.
it was like I could
Oh, I
barely,
didn't find that boring,
barely,
because I
I
liked
could
it.
barely
Yeah.
follow it.
Me too.
So I think that a child would find it very difficult.
Well, see,
And
and
that's
it
the
wasn't.
thing.
It
Yeah.
wasn't
That's the part.
entertaining
Yeah, child
at
can
all.
follow it.
Mhm. And see, that's what I said. It's little scenes like that. At least I found entertaining. But overall, I think of the movie, it's like, this is like nothing like the first movie that I thought
Oh,
had
I
so
love
much
the first
charm,
movie.
right?
First movie was
Yeah.
great.
And again, because of the beast. And so even though they have these beasts in it's like, oh, I wish there was more to
They
it.
had two.
But Bunty was in the first two movies as well. So
Mhm.
that's why
Yeah.
I said,
It-
but like I
it-
said, a supporting
yeah.
character, but
Okay, I'm dying to hear the rating on this.
So that would be
George.
George.
Yeah.
George's
Yeah,
face.
I
when
still,
he has-
I like this kind. I still like the kind of magic and fun entertaining, but I'll give it a 7.
I'll give it a 5.
I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5.
Yeah.
My 5 is a lot different than
My 5 is being
Yes, my 5
generous.
is actually higher than your guys'
Yes,
5.
exactly.
Only because I like Matt
My 5
Mikkelsen
is
better than Johnny
very
Depp.
low.
No.
Well,
That's so, and see, isn't that the funny part? In a way, it's like, I felt so sorry because I thought, oh, poor Mads Mikkelsen. He's just going to be known in these big budgeted American movies as a villain. And he's such a great actor, right?
He is a great
You
actor.
know?
Yeah.
But you're right.
They should have made him at the beginning.
I agree. Because that's what threw me off
You
as
don't
well.
change
No,
the big
but
guy.
And
I-
also my sort of distaste when it's like, okay, well, now then we hear the results of the case
Right,
and how he
right.
gets awarded. It's like,
Right.
you
No,
know, and
I-
that's the reason why he couldn't be in this
I
movie.
agree with Patty. You might not be that enthralled with Johnny Depp.
I'm not.
But you accepted him for
Yeah.
3 movies.
Oh, he's
as
got
that.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, what's the
you
pirate
don't
doing there?
change him
Yeah.
at the third
Yeah.
movie.
You need to write him out of the movie.
So this
That's
movie
what you
got
have
a
to
this
do.
movie got a 43 with the critics and 83% with the audience.
See,
Well,
again,
they don't know
exactly.
shit.
See, that's what I mean. The critics are seeing it probably the way we are,
Yes.
but
Uh-huh.
the audience, it has that built-in audience. They
I
just
know it,
beat
but
Yeah.
the
it all up.
reviews,
Yeah.
the reviews are like, Fabi is the best of all 3. I was
It's
like,
like a-
it got
you know,
bad.
it's like-
It got
No,
terrible.
the
Yes.
best of all 3.
I saw it got terrible.
more
reviews.
than one.
It's like an
I
idea.
saw
Well, it's
20
like
of them.
it's like trying to review a Star Wars to
Yeah.
a Star Wars fan.
Okay, so tell us where.
Okay.
We
Okay,
can go
no,
see this.
okay. So this ends our 53rd
Yeah, third.
episode of What the Flicks podcast. So remember to subscribe and like us, and we'll
Yeah, well, how about the links at the bottom? Man?
look at the links
Scrolling
at the
right over
bottom
here
that
as
George
I
will
speak.
put on
Look
there.
at that link scrolling right there.
Yeah, there you go. And so until next time, adios.
Bye bye.
Adios.
Bye.